Hello and welcome to BML's Kitchen. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how I make my okra soup, also known as Ila Alasepo in Yoruba. Watch and enjoy. Ingredients used: locust beans, dried shrimps, seafood, assorted meat, seafood and meat broth, soaked stockfish, smoked mackerel fish, scotch bonnet, palm oil, and fresh okra. Now that my okra is all washed and clean with water, what I'm going to be doing now is cutting it. And before I cut the okra, I have to make sure I get rid of the unwanted part, which is the very top bit of the okra and the bottom bit, because we don't need that when you're making the okra. So that's basically what I'm doing now. People make okra in so many different ways, and the way I like to make mine is to hand cut it, simply because I just like the crunchiness when I'm eating my okra soup. There are other different types of ways you can do it as well. You can also blend it in a blender. It's just that the texture will be different, and then the taste, not the taste. So I slice the okra vertically, and then I do it like that twice to have 4 sides, if that makes sense. But you can cut it however you want. This is just how I do mine. And then I put it on the chopping board. Then I cut it bit by bit. Please, for health and safety reason, don't try what I'm doing by lifting the okra up and cutting it with the knife like that. It's just because I want you guys to see what I'm trying to do, because my camera was just playing up when I put it on the chopping board. So yeah, this is how the okra looks like after cutting it. Now it's time to get to the real business, which is the cooking. Time to add some palm oil in the pot. I put like about 4 to 5 spoons, and then I waited for it to fry for a bit. Then I added my locust beans, also known as iru. You can also put ugiri as well. It's really optional. If you don't like the smell, you don't need to put it. So most of the locust beans as well comes dirty, so make sure you check it and you wash it properly, because you don't want dirt or stones or sands in your food. So after that, I added my grounded prawns, dried prawns, and then I also added my dried shrimps, and then make sure I stir it all up. All I'm doing now is just creating my own flavor. This is the thing that I do anyway with my okra or my F4. That's the steps that I take. I'm just creating flavor and also making my base for my okra soup. And then after that, I went on to add my seafood broth. And then this is the water, like I explained how I make it in my jollof rice video. If you've not watched that, please make sure you watch that. So the seafood broth is the water that I got from my crab legs and my fresh prawns after seasoning it. It's full of flavor as well. So I pour that in there as well, and then stir it all up. Then I went ahead to add my 2 scotch bonnet. You can put 1, you can put more than 2. It all depends on how spicy you want your okra soup. And if you don't want to use scotch bonnet, you can also use any type of ground pepper. You can use Cameroon pepper, chili pepper is all up to you. After letting my base cook for about 5 to 7 minutes, I went on to add my seasoning. I added just one cube of nor. I added oregano, about 1 teaspoon, and mixed herbs, about 1 teaspoon as well, just because I like flavor. I went on to stir it, and then I added my smoked mackerel fish. Smoked mackerel fish smells so amazing and also tastes so amazing. I made sure I took out the bones, from it, and then got my stockfish, which is also known as panla in Yoruba. You can call it dry fish. I put that in there as well. I soaked it in hot water for about an hour, 30 minutes, just to make it soft because it comes really hard. And I also pour the water in there as well. That's like a form of broth as well, if that makes sense. After letting that cook for about 10 minutes, I went on to add my assorted meats, which includes smoked turkey, goat meat, abodi. Sorry, I don't know the English name for that, but I just know that I love that part of meat. Shaki, which is tripe, bomo, which is cow skin. This is the brown one that I've got in there. And I make sure it was cut into smaller pieces. I cut it myself just because I know that when I'm eating my okra, I know that 2 to 3 or one meat is following my going into my mouth, if that makes sense. So, and also I made sure that the broth left in the bowl didn't go to waste. I poured it in there as well. Like I explained in my previous video, which is the smoky jollof rice, broth does take your food to another level, takes the taste to another level. So this wasn't too much for my okra soup, and I let that cook for 7 to 10 minutes because they're all already cooked anyway, but I just wanted the meat to just get all soaked up in that juice. The last thing I added before the okra is the seafood. This is because I've already cooked this a little bit, and seafood cooks so quickly, so it was only right just to put it last. And that's the fresh prawns and the crab legs going in right now. Finally, it's time to put the okra in the pot. I made sure I cooked the okra for about 5 to 8 minutes so I don't lose that crunchiness that I'm looking for. I also make sure that I added a bit of water, half a cup of water, just because the okra soup was looking a bit thick and I prefer mine runny. So if you like it thick, you can leave it like that. If you like it runny, you either put water, or if you have broth, you put the broth. Well, at this point, I ran out of broth, so that's why I put water in there. We all cook differently. I know some people make their okra soup by, blending tomato, onions, and pepper and scotch bonnet. We all cook differently. But this is the way I make mine. This is the way I make my base. This is the way I make my okra soup. And I hope you did learn from it. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and also share. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.